Hello, my name is Ilona and I want to take a look at the energies, especially the full moon today. It's the July 13th, 2022. Very interesting full moon. It's super moon and it means that the moon is very close to the earth. Of course, there are all kinds of theories about the moon, so what it exactly is. But I really like looking at astrology and I like the psychological information you can gain from looking at the star signs, the positions. I find that very interesting. So today is full moon in Capricorn. And of course, the sun is in the star sign Cancer. So that's of course the combination. Usually the full moon is in the sign opposite to where the sun is going through. And in this case, Capricorn is the father figure of the star signs and Cancer is the mother figure of the star signs. So they're very opposite. Capricorn is more about working hard, about the career, about structures. And the Cancer sign is more like about family, sensitive, emotions. But both do need security. So that's interesting. The Capricorn is more security, material security, or more career-wise. It's more about the security outside, living, while the Cancer security is more emotional security, knowing that there are people around them they can depend on. So that's a very interesting that they both have this need for security. At least that's how I see things. So it's just a different expression. But it's a very interesting time and I can see a lot of things are happening right now around us in the world. Things are collapsing. And what I discussed in my Dutch video, because obviously this is a recap of my Dutch video, I find very interesting that we see things like the Georgia Guidestones falling apart. To me, this is a clear sign that the Whiteheads are stepping up. But I've seen reaction that people were actually saying, no, these are the dark energies. They purposely are destroying this. And their logic is that they're destroying evidence. And I'm like a bit confused about that. Of course, everyone has the right to see what resonates for them. But if they are fully in control, because these people obviously think that the dark energy is going to take over, and that's why they've destroyed the Georgia Guidestones, they have that power still. If they are going to have full control, why would they destroy evidence? Who's going to take them up on that evidence? Because so far they haven't done anything. They've put things in places are actually very obvious and they haven't done anything about that. And by this happening with the Georgia Guidestones, there are a lot of people now aware of there was this monument because a lot of people had no clue. Of course, in the community that people are awake and talking about this, the truth community, people are aware of the monument, but most everyday person or people just moving along their lives, they have never heard of the Georgia Guidestone. And by this happening, suddenly completely, how do you say this, there was a light shining on that monument and people are now aware that there was a monument and what it was about. They may not be completely fully aware what it is or what it stands for, but they've heard about it now. So if this really was getting rid of evidence, like I've mentioned before, if they are going to be in full control, why get rid of evidence? Who's going to use it against them? And second, by doing this, they actually emphasize the monument. So I'm not so sure about that. And more things happening. We have a lot in the Netherlands, a lot of stripes in the sky. And a lot of people are still reacting very negatively to the stripes in the sky. I've done a video, June 30th, if I'm not mistaken, about these stripes. I've watched many times. I did a lot of card readings. And to me, the Whiteheads have taken over. And they purposely are really laying it on thick. So you have all these crosses. People cannot deny there's something going on in the sky. And I think they're doing this on purpose to show people that this is what's been going on. You have to show, don't tell, show people. But a lot of people are still reacting like, oh, I feel it already in my throat. And that is, of course, programming. If that is your first reaction, that you immediately think this gotta be the dark energies, of course you're going to react to that because we program ourselves. But it's up to people to see what resonates with you or not. And to me, it feels like the Whiteheads have taken control over it. They're also covering things up so we don't see what's going on above. there is a lot of things going on in the sky. So they purposely do that, and also there's a lot of energy coming in. So I think they also try to help us, support us gradually, in a gradual way, so we can adjust to all these energy coming in. Like, it's massive right now. It's just rising and rising and rising. I also mentioned something in the Netherlands right now, and maybe this is also an example for other people, but in the Netherlands right now, the government not only are busy, of course, with the farmers, but they have also got something through the government that they want to place people in your houses or just get you out of the houses. They have this law now that was from 1952, if I'm not mistaken. They've kind of transformed it a bit so they can use it now. So they can just get refugees in your house, so they'll just take your house. Or just place people in your house. Well, this to me is really fear mongering. I've of course mentioned this in my Dutch video. A lot of people, I get a lot of reactions sent to me, mails like, what is this about? Is this going to happen? And let's just think about that. So the government want to, let's say, from a village or a city, they're going to say, well, these people from this area, these streets will just have to leave their houses, whether they rent the houses or maybe even have them in their own, their own houses, bought their houses. Let's just say that they're actually going to take a certain street or certain area and say, well, these people just have to leave. What do you think is going to happen? First of all, logistically, how are they going to do that? How are you going to get all these people out of their houses? First of all, you need to use the police, or maybe the mobile, the mobile units in the police system. Well, then of course these people live in the Netherlands as well, and if this is going to happen to other people, everyone will understand that this can happen to them as well. That's why there's so much support for the farmers. People are beginning to understand this is much bigger than just the farmers. If they're going after the land of the farmers, they're coming for us next. And of course, with this coming through, the government is already showing themselves that that's, of course, is what's on their mind. They want everyone's land and everyone's house. So just logistically, you think these people are not going to stand up? You think the rest of the Netherlands is not going to stand up, knowing fully well, like, if this is happening there, this can happen to me. This is such a basic right, where you live, your house, your home. And by invading that, or at least give the image that they're going to invade, that's the best way to wake up people. So to me, this is waking up people. This is really this shock system. So to be very honest, I understand that people are afraid or fear is coming up. Try to transform that fear. Look at where this fear is coming from. You are safe. You're always safe. You're always protected. But you really have to feel that inside yourself. So really see if you can work with that and leave it for what it is. And see if it's going to happen, actually happen. Like if they're actually going to take steps. Because to be very honest, I don't see that happening. Because it's already a mess here. Let's face it, and rightfully so, what they're doing to the farmers and other like fishermen, and it's just ridiculous. People are fed up with it here, but if you're going to do that's I think will be completely. I think people will really go to The Hague and pretty much do things. Not even going to address what's going to happen then, but if you really mess with people's houses. And I'm talking, there have been some people that were, I think, evicted, but this was anti-kraak. We called it in the Netherlands anti-kraak. And that's actually, the building is empty. So they put people with a very low rent in there so they can leave when they need that property again. So that's actually in the contract that you can be evicted any moment. That's why there's such a low rent. So that's the only thing I've heard about, but I haven't heard about people that had to leave their, they were actually renting their apartments or buildings or houses, or actually were houses that they bought. So like I said, this is what they've got. They only have that fear mongering. That's what they've got. Don't fall for it. And wait till it actually is happening. Because trust me, I think that's not going to happen. They're not going to get that far. They don't even have the money to do that anymore. I don't think they have anything left. But I got some cards for this full moon. The first 3 cards are about the energy now. The second row is about the challenges. And the third row is about the outcome. So the first 3 cards is the Hermit, the 5 of Pentacles, and the Devil card. So that's very interesting. Especially this is connected with Capricorn, if I'm not mistaken. So this is about shining the light on the evil that's going on around us, but also inside of us. This is about how dependent we still are, giving away our powers. This is about getting rid of this chain around us and stepping into our own powers. And really, by giving away our power, we are actually throwing ourselves outside. We are actually locking ourselves out. Our own inner light, we're locking that out. If we're depending on other people to do things for us, or other substances or things around us, we are actually giving ourselves away. We're putting ourselves in the cold, so to speak. And it's about shining our light inside. By doing that, by looking at this, by looking at all these things that still hold us back, old patterns, pain, fear, anger, frustration, by shining a light on that, by really embracing that and accepting that and transforming it, feeling through it, we will start shining our light. We will get the answers from inside. So we will be independent on everything that's happening around us. So it's very important that we take this time now to really shine a light. Like I said, what's going on now in the world around us, it's really shining a light on things. We have, of course, now the case with Twitter. Elon Musk doesn't want to continue anymore because he's mentioned that there are many bots and the information they've given is not right. So now Twitter, if I'm not mistaken, are taking him to court, which, well, they didn't have a choice. If they didn't do anything, their stocks would collapse. And now they have to go to court, but then they have to show their information, which means that a light will be shown on their dark side, because that entire company is about an agenda. It's not about helping people. It's not about connecting people. It's about an agenda. It's about bots. It's about confusing people, try to manipulate people. And this is going to be shown. This is one of those things that things are coming out around us, and it's going on inside of us because everything is connected. Of course, the laptop from the son of Mr. B, things are coming out. Horrible things. It's necessary. We need to see this. We need to see this around us, what's going on, so we can clean up, and we need to see it inside of ourselves. All these manipulations they've done with us, we need to start seeing it, shine a light on it. The second row, is about the challenges. So we have the Queen of Wands, we've got the 8 of Pentacles, and we have the 2 of Swords. So to shine our light, the challenge will be to follow our passion, to follow what makes us happy, to be good to ourselves, and to really work through this. This takes a lot of work. It's especially working with the emotions. You have to kind of just surrender to that, because it's not like you can take it for 15 minutes and just feel through your anger and then it's gone. Usually it's been built up over a long period of time, so it takes time, and you have to kind of surrender to that and trust the process in that, just like trusting the process that's going on outside of ourselves. Everything is connected, so we really have to embrace, work with it, and not to be afraid, because sometimes it's just, even I have moments like, oh no, I got that again. Where is this coming from? Could be from former lifetimes, future lifetimes. Now everything can come up. Maybe even highly sensitive people will think around them, will pick up emotions around them. But it's very important that we embrace everything and accept it, and things that are not our own, that we leave it for what it is, that we do understand that we don't have to take responsibility for someone else's emotions or feelings. We are responsible for our own feelings and our own emotions. But it's work. And it's about taking off the blindfold and being, how do you say this, responsible and daring to look at it. It takes guts to look at yourself, to objectively look at yourself, not fall into some victim mentality or get very angry with, oh, the frustration with all the things that need to be cleared or cleaned, or that you're like, oh, this again. It's very important that we take off the blindfold and just accept it, not run around it, really face it. This is the period to face things and to really look this in the eye, inside ourselves, all these dark energies we may still carry with us that really we can let go of now. All these old habits, addictions, all these things that keep us powerless, that we give away our power. It's so important to take that back. And then the last three cards, the Ace of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. So this is a beautiful card. We can really make a completely new start. This could even mean a new job, a new relationship, a new attitude, a new way of dealing with your health, with your body, just a new way of just living. Like living, start living from how you feel, you know, your energy, your passion. It will bring you new things, new opportunities. Especially if you transform all these old energies, you won't be manifesting that anymore. You'll be manifesting something completely new. So it's very important, but take your time. Don't rush things. Maybe if there's some practical things you want to change, you can really start. Well, the Capricorn is about practical plans. So that's very important that you take the practical side from the Capricorn, and when you're working through your emotions and feelings, look to Cancer and take your time in that, because you can't just think your way through emotions. It's not going to work. You need your time with that. You need to surrender to that, embrace it, transform it, and just take your time with that as well. So it's important practically, if you want to take some things, change things, you can really start making a plan and follow through with that. And emotionally, you just need to trust the plan. Just outside, trust the plan. It's about trusting yourself as well, because that's not something you can just make a plan like on Tuesday I'm going to work all my anger issues, and on Wednesday I'm going to clear all my sadness. That's not how it works. You need to take your time with that. Take time with these old pains, and this is about an old pain. This is an old wound, and you see this person is not being attacked at all. So this is old pains and react from this old pain. So it feels like we're being attacked, but it's not. And we need to see that this is really about old situations that can now be healed. We really have this beautiful energy right now to heal all these old wounds, anger, fear, everything that is holding us back. Everything that is keeping us chained. It's time that we let go of that now, or at least look at it, start working with it. I'd like to leave it at this, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.